If you check the headlines on any given morning, the news feels like a chaotic, disconnected stream. A billionaire makes a move here, a politician signs a document there, and the entire system appears completely random. But if you freeze the feed and isolate a single day, like Tuesday, June 9th, 2026, that chaos starts to look like a structure. On this exact morning, the highest concentrations of corporate and political power in the country slammed headfirst into the systems designed to keep them in check. These four major headlines show the exact points where the American system is pushing back. Looking at this Tuesday shows exactly how traditional and untraditional checks and balances actually function in the 21st century. Consider the first pillar of modern power, the executive branch. Late last year, President Trump attempted to aggressively bypass Congress with an executive mandate. This chart shows exactly how that mandate worked. It slapped a $100,000 surcharge on H-1B visas, the program American companies use to hire highly skilled foreign tech workers and researchers. Overnight, a standard filing fee of roughly $2,000 to $5,000 rocketed up by 20 to 50 times. The White House framed this as protecting American workers. But look at what happens to the data for U.S. hospitals and engineering firms. The hiring capacity drops completely off a cliff. This fee built an overnight, insurmountable financial wall for critical public services and tech companies. That's where the legal friction hits. 20 Democratic state attorneys general sued, and inside this federal courthouse in Massachusetts, a single U.S. district judge agreed with them, vacating the policy nationwide. An executive order, no matter how forcefully deployed, cannot legally rewrite the definition of a tax. The judicial immune system isolated the overreach and neutralized it. The second pillar of power operates far outside of Washington: corporate monopolies. And this Thursday, SpaceX takes the stage for its debut on the NASDAQ. By selling 555 million shares at $135 apiece, the company is aiming to raise $75 billion in a single day. That cements a $1.77 trillion valuation, making it the largest public market debut in human history. Usually, going public means negotiating with Wall Street banks, but Elon Musk is using a fixed-price offering. The price is strictly set. Take it or leave it. He completely bypassed the traditional institutional haggling. This graphic illustrates exactly why institutional investors are sounding the alarm. Despite going public, Musk is retaining a commanding 82.4% of the voting control, leaving public shareholders with virtually no say in corporate governance. Musk's countermaneuver to that institutional pushback? He set aside an unusually high 30% of the shares specifically for retail investors, directly tapping into his loyally followed social media base to drown out Wall Street's concerns. Even with a $1 trillion valuation and massive social capital, corporate power cannot entirely escape the structural friction of the open market. Away from the courtrooms and the trading floors lies the public square. Power operates through culture as much as it does through law. The night before the midterms, President Trump stepped into Madison Square Garden. He was the first sitting U.S. president to ever attend an NBA Finals game. But when he appeared on the Jumbotron, the reaction was immediate. In his own hometown, a crowd of 20,000 fans erupted into loud, sustained boos. The jeering only stopped when the stadium cameras quickly cut away to Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson, who the crowd showered with a standing ovation. That raw human reaction is an unscripted cultural immune response. It serves as a reminder that political authority cannot simply walk into a non-political space and dictate the terms of its reception. All of this localized pushback eventually funnels into the ultimate mechanism of accountability, the electoral system. This map shows the 4 states heading to the polls today, June 9th. Voters in Maine, Nevada, South Carolina, and North Dakota are casting primary ballots that will shape the balance of power in Washington this November. Within that macro map are intense micro-level stakes. In Maine, Democratic candidate Graham Plattner is trying to secure the nomination to challenge incumbent Senator Susan Collins, but he's currently facing massive public blowback after mocking a wounded U.S. soldier online. Whether it's a judge's gavel, a stock ticker, or a booing crowd, all that friction is just a prelude to the hard political power ultimately decided at the ballot box and eventually seated behind these steps. So when we pull back and look at June 9th in its entirety, the chaos resolves into a clear pattern. This is a story of a system actively resisting consolidation. That friction is being applied right now by state attorneys general, institutional investors, 20,000 basketball fans in New York, and millions of primary voters across 4 states. In the American system, consolidated power is rarely absolute. Pushing boundaries always incurs a cost, and eventually the invoice comes due.